Hello dear students. Now in our unit number 5, our next topic is equilibrium of rigid body. Here we will understand the concept of this word equilibrium. Now let us understand the definition of this term. A body is said to be in mechanical equilibrium if both its linear momentum and angular momentum are not changing with time. So how this equilibrium term is related with the momentums, that we need to understand here. So here the total equilibrium of a rigid body is considered in two parts, two types of equilibrium: translational equilibrium and rotational equilibrium. Let us understand that how they are connected with the momentum. So, we will discuss it in 2 points. Translational equilibrium. Translational means if the body is in linear motion, so when it will be said to be in the equilibrium. So, it's very simple. When the total force on the rigid body is 0, then we will say that that body is in equilibrium. Okay. Now, in the same manner, if we talk about rotational term, so that means when the body is rotating. So, it will be in the rotational equilibrium. So for rotation, which factor is needed? So torque is needed. So the body will be in rotational equilibrium if the total torque is 0. Okay, so this way force and torque, if they are 0, then the body will be in translational and rotational equilibrium. Now let us understand that how it is related to the momentum. So by Newton's second law of motion, we know that F equal to dp by dt. And because the total force is 0, so dp by dt is equal to 0. Okay, this is total momentum, this is total force. So this way we have got that dp by dt should be equal to 0 if we want to achieve the equilibrium. Now in mathematics, if dy by dx term is 0, that means y is constant. Okay, we have also discussed that if we have a constant, then constant's differentiation is always 0. So reverse also we can understand. If dy by dx is 0, that means that quantity is constant. So here also if dp by dt is 0, that means total momentum should be 0. Sorry, total momentum should be constant. Total momentum constant means if any event has taken place, then total momentum of the particles of the system should always be constant. That means suppose initially, that means before any event, the momentum of the body was 10. So after the event also the body's momentum should be 10 only. That means this can also be written this way, that momentum initial and momentum final should also be equal. Okay. If suppose there are, I'll just take the example. If suppose there are two objects, okay, in the system. So if two objects are there, so initially what are their velocities? Suppose u1 and u2. So m1 u1 and m2 u2, it gives us the momentum of first body and momentum of second body before event, before any event, suppose collision. And after the event, what is the total momentum after the event? So after the event, velocities must have changed. So we will call it m1 v1 plus m2 v2. So this is called the conservation of linear momentum. Okay, this step is called the conservation of linear momentum. So you can see that we can study this translational equilibrium in this format also, that one format is that equilibrium means total force 0, that means total momentum constant, that means momentum before any event, initial momentum, and momentum after the event, that means final momentum, should be equal because every time it has to be constant. Okay, so what are the conditions for conservation of linear momentum? Condition for conservation of linear momentum is total force should be 0. So all the things are interconnected. So in translational equilibrium, the linear momentum remains conserved. Now in the same manner, all these points we can discuss for the torque also. Okay, so here point number second. So like this force formula is for the linear motion. In the same manner, if we want to make it for the rotational motion, torque In place of force, torque will come. Then d by dt, n. In place of linear momentum, angular momentum will come. So torque equal to dl by dt is the formula which we are going to use. Now here we are saying that for equilibrium, for rotational equilibrium, total torque should be 0. So dl by dt we have to equate it to 0. This says that L should be constant. Okay, total L should be constant of the body. Again in the same manner, initial angular momentum and final angular momentum should be equal. So Li equal to Lf. Okay, initial and final angular momentum should be equal. Now how to write it in detail? Like here we have written in detail for the two particle system. So let us start. Suppose again here we are taking a two particle system. So angular momentum of two particles before and angular momentum of two particles after. So first of all we need the formula of L like this. So the counterparts of each term we are going to take for rotational. Like mass we have to replace by moment of inertia as we have discussed. U1 means U is linear velocity initial. We use here angular velocity omega. So I1 omega 1 plus I2 omega 2 equal to I1 omega 1 final and I2 omega 2 final. So this way we can write it this way also, that overall L should be constant means I omega should be constant. Okay, so in any manner we can learn it. So this is suggesting us the conservation of angular momentum. Okay, so let us now conclude these points this way, that what is the condition for conservation of linear momentum? Condition. So what is the condition? Force should be 0. If we want that linear momentum should be conserved, force should be 0. In the same manner, what is the condition for conservation of angular momentum? Condition. So what is the condition? Torque should be 0. Okay, so this way, this is the topic related to equilibrium of rigid body. Okay, so what we have discussed here? Equilibrium of rigid body means mechanical equilibrium. Mechanical equilibrium is the body should be having both types of equilibrium, whether it is in linear motion or it is in rotational motion or in both. So translational equilibrium means force should be 0, rotational equilibrium means torque should be 0. And here if force 0 is required, that means the linear momentum should be conserved. And if here torque 0 is required, then angular momentum should be conserved. So this way, finally we can conclude the line that if a body is said to be in mechanical equilibrium, if both its linear momentum and angular momentum are not changing with time, that means they are constant. Okay, so this way we have completed this topic. Now this conservation of angular momentum here, because this chapter is about rotational motion, we have to discuss this in detail with some applications. Let us move to the next sheet. Note down. Conservation of angular momentum. Let us just conclude the point. Total angular momentum L is conserved if the total external torque is 0. So L constant whenever torque is 0. And how can we write L here? So I omega is the replacement for L. So I omega term should be constant. That means the product of I and omega should be constant. If any one of them out of I and omega, if any one of them increases, then second should decrease, so that the product always remains constant. So let us understand the applications. We have a famous example here that an ice skater folds his arms to increase his angular speed and stretches his arms to decrease his angular speed. Angular speed means he is rotating. Okay, so you must have observed the ice skaters when they are doing skating on that ice surfaces, they rotate also on their own axis. So how do they adjust their speeds? Okay, so how the speeds, angular speeds are adjusted by folding our body or by stretching our body. So it can be related to the diving example also. While doing diving also, the stretching and folding of the body is done. So why it is done, that we need to understand here. So it's this way. Suppose we draw a person, suppose an ice skater. So I want the folding of the arms. So suppose this is the center axis of the body and these are the arms. Okay, now you see that an ice skater is rotating on its own axis. Okay, so this is the center of the body. Okay, if I draw it, take this diagram, that suppose a person is rotating on its own axis. So this is the central axis or axis of rotation. Now this person is rotating about this axis. Now we know that how to solve this question with the help of moment of inertia. Now moment of inertia, its formula is summation mi/ri square. That means this is the axis of rotation. So we have to take the distance of all that parts of the bodies from this axis of rotation. So at largest distance, these arms or hands are there. Okay, so this from this axis, the distance of this hand is r. So what happens? If the person is stretching the arm, so r increases. If r increases, moment of inertia I also increases. Okay, now there is no external torque on this system. No external torque on this system. He is doing it himself. So no external torque, that means L constant. L constant means I omega constant. And if I omega constant, and we have said that by stretching, he is actually increasing R. So he is increasing moment of inertia I. So if I increases, but this product should remain constant. So that time omega by itself will decrease. Okay, so this way by stretching the arms, angular speed decreases. By stretching the arms, angular speed decreases. So you can see he stretches his arms to decrease the angular speed. So this explanation we have to write down. So I'll give you the proper language to note down the answer. So this was the explanation. I hope this is clear. So this is the center axis of the body. Stretching the arms means R increases. Okay. From the means of this hand, what is the distance from the central axis? So R. If this R increases, I increases according to moment of inertia formula. But torque 0 because no external torque is there, L constant. So if I increases, omega decreases. So angular speed decreases. And just opposite to that, if he is folding his arms, that means R decreases, so I decreases, so omega should increase. So by folding the arms, angular speed increases. Okay, so these are the 2 points written. Now let us write it properly. Note, you can draw this picture and these symbols. Let us write this answer. By stretching the arms, the distance of the arms from the central axis of rotation of body increases. Distance increases. Thus I, moment of inertia, increases. But there is no external torque, so torque 0. Thus angular momentum L should be constant, which is equal to I omega. So if I increases, omega should decrease. Note down this answer. Let us move to the second application. The second application is about Earth. What happens to the duration of the day if Earth suddenly contracts, keeping its mass constant? Okay, so this question is related with the duration of the day. So just now the duration of the day is 24 hours. One day is of 24 hours, that you already know. So T is originally 24 hours. This is the original T. Now it is asked, if Earth suddenly contracts. Now Earth is of what shape? It is a spherical in shape. It is a sphere. So if Earth suddenly contracts, so that means the radius of the Earth R is going to decrease. That is written in the question. So will it affect the duration of the day? So you see now duration of the day is related to rotational motion of the Earth. So Earth is rotating on its own axis. Okay, so Earth is rotating on its own axis. Fine. Now if R decreases, this radius decreases, so it will affect the moment of inertia of the Earth. So moment of inertia of any sphere, because earth is a sphere, so moment of inertia formula for the earth is 2 by 5 mr square. It is like a diameter for the earth where it is rotating. So about the diameter, moment of inertia formula of the sphere is 2 by 5 mr square. This you can take from the table which we have drawn. Now if r decreases, then moment of inertia also decreases. Now we know that there is no external torque. So again I omega should be constant. So if I decreases, omega should increase. So omega increases. We have reached to this point. Now if omega increases, so omega formula is 2 pi by t. Omega is equal to 2 pi by t. This way we will come to time. Okay. So if omega increases, that means time should decrease. They are inversely proportional. That's why. So the duration of the day will be less than 24 hours. Duration of the day is less than 24 hours. Okay, so by contracting, the duration of the day also decreases. Suppose in the same question it is asked that earth suddenly expands. So you have to just do the reverse. Then the duration of the day will increase. Okay. The last theoretical heading of this unit is prove that the rotational kinetic energy is equal to half I omega square of a rigid body. Okay. Rotational kinetic energy we have to prove half of I omega square. This we have already discussed how to get it directly, but we have a proper proof to do it. Let us start. So suppose we are taking a system of n particles. So total kinetic energy of the n particles we can write as kinetic energy of first particle, kinetic energy of second particle, like that. Let us write it summation kinetic energy I. I means it will vary from 1 to n. Okay, I means 1 to n. We can write it only summation also. Now here, like each particle's mass is different. m1, velocity is v1. So here also we have to write it like this, mi vi square. Now half can be taken out of the summation, mi also as it is. Now because we need to talk about the rotational term, so vi should be replaced by angular velocity. So what is the relation between v and omega? So that is r omega. Okay. Now you see, if any object is rotating in which m1, m2, m3 particles are there, so their distances may change. R1 distance, R2 distance from the axis of rotation. But all are rotating at the same angular speed. So when I will write here Vi equal to R omega. So V1 equal to R1 omega. V2 equal to R2 omega. V3 equal to R3 omega. So you can see R are changing. But omega for all the particles is same. That's why I need to mention here Ri, omega will remain same only. And since omega is same, I will take it out of the summation. So omega square. Now what is left in the summation? Mi and Ri square. This omega square is already taken out. You can see now this formula is very familiar with us. Summation Mi Ri square is the formula of moment of inertia. This way we have obtained the formula of kinetic energy as half of I omega square. So this is the formula. So whenever rotational kinetic energy is asked of any body, you have to apply this formula, half of I omega square. Okay.